Hey everybody, this is the OMAD Dad, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that is dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating one meal a day. Well, today I want to talk about the ever important topic of why we overeat. This is a great topic, especially for beginners or people who have been intermittent fasting for a while, because most likely, as a result of overeating, you may have found this channel or maybe several other channels on YouTube and have decided to make the journey to lose the weight and to stop this vicious cycle once and for all. And today my topic was inspired by this book that I just picked up. It's called Mindless Eating. It's by Brian Wansink. He is a PhD, and it's a book whose subtitle, Why We Eat More Than We Think, got me to thinking about why we overeat. Now, I had to, before I started, I just wanted to say that I had to stop about halfway through this book as I kind of got sick and tired of listening to him advertise his private research company and all of the different food experiments that they do, and I think he made it overly complicated. And so here's my 2 cents on why we overeat. There are 2 main reasons, and one is biological and one is psychological. Let's start with the first one. So we overeat for biological reasons because this is kind of programmed into our DNA. When we were out in the wild, so to speak, and there wasn't the civilization that we had today, we ate seasonally, and during peak harvest season, food was readily available, and a lot of it, and we have this kind of program buried in our DNA where we would tend to eat a little bit more than we technically need for the day. And the reason for that was because we knew that scarce times would be coming, that the winter would be here soon, and we needed to bulk up and put a little bit of extra fat on ourselves so that we could survive the lean winter months when the food wasn't always available or it was very scarce. And this was the cycle that we repeated. So sometimes we would be burning fat, other times we would be burning more sugar and glucose depending on what time of the year it was. So this is the one main biological reason we overeat. We kind of programmed to overindulge a little bit, or just go a little bit beyond technically what we need for calories to maintain our weight, as a ancient survival mechanism. As I just described, I mean, this is what kept us alive for millions and millions of years during those months when most food wasn't available. A much different environment today, but we'll get that in a minute. And the second reason we overeat is psychological, and this is more of our modern day problem that we have today. And not all the psychological reasons that we eat are bad. They're not all. We don't overeat for a psychological reason because we're stressed, which is it is a way, but sometimes we're stressed, sometimes we're dealing with depression, sometimes we do it because we're in a social situation, sometimes we do it because we're bored. Sometimes you're just watching TV and you've got the game on, and it's like, okay, it's the Super Bowl, so I have to eat a ridiculous amount of food with all my friends here. We live in different times, obviously. We have access to food now in most areas about 24 hours a day. And if there's not a physical place where you could, like a store or a restaurant where you could go to at any time of the day, we have refrigeration and freezing techniques and preserving techniques now that will allow us to store food that would last us, even if we didn't go outside of our home, probably a good month, and we wouldn't even have to go outside of our own home for food. So we live in a much different time. And because of that, we need to have a new approach on how we go about eating within our life. because just because a food is available to us 24 hours a day doesn't mean that we should be eating 24 hours a day, or that we should be constantly eating as much as we do. And for most of us, it's not the case. Those who have tried OMAD for any length of time will realize that, for one, you don't die when you do it, and two, you begin to realize that you do just well, and sometimes, most times, even better when you eat a smaller amount of food, or if you just eat at a more time-restricted window throughout the day. Most of us, I know myself included, is that we feel and we perform much better than if we're constantly eating all the time. And most of our modern chronic diseases, for the most part, although genetics are involved, they do stem from us constantly eating. So getting back to the original topic, one thing that OMAD does is it kind of regulates our behavior. Biologically speaking, there's really not that much you can do about it. And if you go a little overboard today with your one meal, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Everything will regulate itself out. And the beauty about OMAD is that you have the rest of the day, another 24-hour period roughly, for you to go and burn off those calories or any stored and access that stored fuel that you have in your system. For psychological reasons, though, those are probably, in my opinion, the most dangerous ones. Doing something and not even being aware that you're doing it, or just doing it because. And so this is where we need to be the most diligent. And I think the best solution to this, of course, is eating one meal a day. But these are the two main reasons why we overeat. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better, especially in the Western world, in my opinion, because, as I say, we're just, food is available to us all the time, and even food like substances. It's constantly available. Most of us have ways of preserving food or storing food within our own home, so we're not going to starve. So these are just a couple of thoughts for the day, and of course my solution is OMAD and eating one meal a day. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the topic. If you think I may have missed something, I'm going to include my email below if you have any other questions too. I'd like to start getting some questions from people or comments, and some people may not feel comfortable putting them in the public comment section, but you can send it to me, and I'll do a question and answer video at some point soon. I know I do get a good amount of questions on social media. But that is it for today. I hope you really like this video. I hope you like all the videos, and I hope you subscribe, because we got a lot more content coming. And look us up on Facebook, the OMAD Dad, the official OMAD Dad page. And we have a lot more articles and videos, and we just have a lot of great members. The group has really grown in the past month, and it's just so inspiring to see all of your stories, and to hear from people who have lost 10, 20, 40, 50, 100 or more pounds, people who have struggled with weight loss their whole life, overeating, mindless eating, and other health-related issues, who come to find OMAD and who are able to change their life around in an easier way than they've ever done before. So with that, I wish you very well. I hope you have a happy OMAD, and we will see you soon.